If you want to get high,
Hey guys, Andrew McFarland from StartAJuiceBar.com here. Hope you're having a great day. I wanted to share an unfortunate case study with you guys, but something that I really felt that we could all learn a lot from. So, why did a former employee of mine who had a number of years in the juice bar business, he even consulted with juice bar owners on their menu and operations, go to open his own juice bar only to be out of business in less than 6 months? So in this situation, there's a lot of particular things that I could say he may have been able to do better. But there are a few major elements that stand out that I want to emphasize in this video that we can all really take to heart when it comes to executing on your juice bar business. Now, the first thing that he made the mistake of is he didn't choose a great location. Now, I should say the location was okay, but he chose a location that was in proximity to a cafe that was really well established that also served juices and smoothies. This is a company that I would not advise anybody to compete with, especially a first-time entrepreneur. The next mistake that he made was he thought that his product was going to be the token to his success. Now, I see this a lot, and I feel like when I started my business, I had the same perspective. You know a lot of the companies out there, and you see the quality of their product, and you know you can create a better product. Now, this is great, and this should be a given. You should always strive to be the best when it comes to your product. But you have to understand that in the world of business, it's not always the best products that make the most money, right? Or I should say it's not the companies with the best products, right? Usually it's the companies who market their product the best that are the most successful. There's other elements that come into play. So if you're someone who is believing in your product, great, believe in it, but don't be under the misconception that is going to be the thing that makes you successful. It's going to be one of the things, and there are many things that come into play when it comes to really assuring your success. Now, what was the next thing that this former employee could have done better? He could have been more on top of his financing. Now, I see this also very often. People who actually don't understand how important it is to really, really manage your income and expenses. So when you are a manager or you're a service provider, you're someone who's worked within the juicing industry or the food service industry or any business, you're not really privy to the financial elements of any company. You might have a little bit of knowledge on how much that company actually makes, but you're not likely to be present to the expenses that that company has. So actually becoming an entrepreneur means that you have to be aware and you have to manage the money and you have to do this meticulously and diligently. So that was the other element. Now, the last element, which I saved for last because it really is the most important, which is also related to what I just shared, is he never made the transition from being a manager or managerial type personality into being an entrepreneur. Now, there's a book that I've recommended to a lot of you out there, and if you haven't heard me say this yet, there's a book called The E-Myth. This is a very powerful book on business, and it stands for the entrepreneurial myth. Now, what is that myth? That myth is that if you are a service provider or you are a manager, that being an entrepreneur, in your perspective, means just doing more of what you're already doing. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Okay, being an entrepreneur means the way that you function is completely different. It's a different paradigm, mentally and in activity. So let me break this down a little bit more. Someone who is a service provider provides a service. They carry out tasks. Another label for this would be a technician. Okay? Someone who is a manager manages and oversees to make sure that these service providers or technicians are doing what they're supposed to be doing, that the operations of the business are being carried out in the way that the company has designated. Now, an entrepreneur is creating the systems to be executed, to be managed, by the managers and executed by the service providers. This is a different paradigm. You have to have a specific kind of vantage point to really know what's going on in your business, to make the decisions to leverage what the most important actions are that are going to decrease your expenses, increase your income, expand your brand, so on and so forth. And many people do not have this perspective. They don't get to that vantage point. So they end up constantly working in their business, which leads to them getting burnt out or leads to them not having the proper perspective, instead of working on their business, which is the vantage point and position you need to have in order to make sure things are going according to plan. So that's the message today. I hope you guys learned a lot from this. As always, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the box below. If you guys want to reach out to me personally, you can email me at andrew@StartAJuiceBar.com. I always love talking to you all and seeing if there's a way that I can help. And if you like the video, press the thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, I invite you to subscribe. All right, wishing you much success, and I'll see you soon.